more bliss, more life. We are back here with After Real Truth again. Man, I kind of started sketching this one last night, but with your boy Pomegranate Samurai, of course. I'm trying to get a little bit more character in my voice. I feel like I be sounding weird on here, but it's whatever. Self-conscious as always. I think that's the major thing that artists, we're always self-conscious about our art and about ourselves in general. But I drew this one last night. I had the less fear, but I wanted to go with something else with it, so I ended up putting all this stuff to it, and I'll do my best to explain it to you as we go along with the sketching. So I'm trying to figure out the first thing I want to do. Need to find layer. The light bulb is on right there. Is that a little bit more transparent? Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Alright, take that down a little. As you guys can see, I have a lot of layers. That's gotta be it. Alright. So, with this picture today, the reason why I call this piece of less fear is because, like I was saying before, as an artist, we're always self-conscious, and not just as an artist, as people, we're always self-conscious. Even if you don't want to admit that, you're always self-conscious. We're always self-conscious because we're always thinking to ourselves like, who's gonna see something about us that we don't want to be seen? It's a constant paranoia I feel like we all deal with. And it sucks, man. Ugh. Being like that. It's just being human. So what I'm gonna do today is we're gonna ink this real quick, and then we're gonna color it. So let me turn this to the side real quick. So the light bulb being cracked, to me, it symbolizes ideas. We all have ideas, and sometimes ideas can be dashed because of what we feel other people may think of us. And that sucks, but man, that's how it is. We all wonder what others think of us. We all care about what others think of us, even if we try to act like we don't. We do. It was at a time where I really used to think like, oh, I don't care what my dad or my mom thinks of me. I'm just gonna be me. And it's like at the end of the day, we all want some form of approval. It's heavy. It's heavy to have to admit that, but it is how it is. We all, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, as a parent, I feel like I want the approval of my children when I do things. I want them to be proud of me, just as like I want my parents to be proud of me. And I feel like that's with anybody. I mean, if you look at social media, that is definitely apparent. Like, I feel like a lot of people do a lot of stuff on social media, a lot of non-intelligent stuff for some type of acceptance. And acceptance doesn't have to be just somebody just telling you they accept you. It comes in the form of likes, shares. It's almost become like a drug, this acceptance. And I think I spoke in my last video about normality. Normality, a big part of normality is acceptance. It's like, I gotta fit in to be accepted. Standing out never gets you accepted. But then you start thinking, when you really think hard and deep about acceptance, the people that people pay attention to, these who we call celebrities, they actually were weirdos. They stood out. They didn't worry about being accepted, and now they're out there in the world being praised for being weird. And they don't care. They, you know what I'm saying? They make a lot of money, and people just give them their attention. And your attention alone is a very powerful thing. Me and my homeboy Rocket, we call attention, cosmic currency, because the old saying is pay attention, and when you're paying attention, you're paying for sure. And it's just very intriguing. You just got to think about these things. Pay attention to what you're giving your cosmic currency to, or pay attention to what you're giving your attention to. And it all costs you something. Whether you think it doesn't, it does. You pay these people with your time. And that's also something I talked about in one of my last videos, was how money is a physical representation of time. So when people say time is money, they're not lying. Time is money. The only difference between time and money is you can make more money, but you can't make more time. So that's why you gotta really pay attention to the value that you're putting on money, or the value that you're putting on your time, because it'll cost you. So this light bulb represents ideas or passions or anything that could come to mind being dashed or destroyed or knocked down. And the funny part is, the person who knocked it down in this picture isn't society, though. It's you. You knock down your own ideas by trying to fit in. You know what I'm saying? By looking at what other people are doing. I know a lot of people. There was this one young lady I knew, and me and her used to always get into debates about looking at stuff online when it comes to other people's lives, and you trying to measure your life to another person's happiness and what you see, and that never works out. You can't do that, because pictures can be very deceiving. You never know what a person is going through. On the picture they can smile, and that's what social media is always about. My social media, my Facebook page and stuff like that, like, I don't just post when I'm happy. I post stuff about when I'm sad, and that's what my artwork is, really. Like, if I'm feeling sad, I put it in my artwork. This piece that I did with this light bulb, to me, it reminds me of a time when I would go on social media or listen to other people about ideas that I have, and people would tell me, oh, that's not good enough. And that really shouldn't have mattered, because, you can't really let anybody dictate or judge what you're trying to do. You can't let them tell you anything, really. But it stemmed with my own doubt. That's where it began. So when they told me that, it resonated in me, because I had already felt like I probably wasn't good enough. And, it gets to the point where, like, if you keep telling yourself that, you start to become so engrossed in not evolving yourself. And that's the key to it all, really, is just trying to make sure that you're always going to be evolving in your craft, no matter what that craft is. It could be music, cooking, it's all art, dancing. It doesn't matter. Stay focused and growing. And if you can do that, you've already won. Because it doesn't matter how much time it takes you. I had to learn the hard way that it's not always about doing it for others. This little person right here, I feel like it's supposed to be like a little flame-headed person. I'll make him sad. These little people, to me, represent the spark that ignites everything. Have fun looking mischievous. Yeah, but it all starts with you. So you really can't down yourself. And another thing that I used to do a lot is like I'll go on and I look at other artists' artwork and I'll be like, man, they good. How will I ever be that good? And I will let that deter me as well. Like it's really up to you how you use the internet. You can use it as a source of inspiration, or it could be a source of destruction. For your mind, it's all about how you perceive things, how you go into it, and when you're looking at it, what's it gonna do for you? Me personally, I've tried over the years to use the internet as a source of inspiration. And sometimes I get down and out, and I be looking at stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm never gonna be that good. And I just started to realize, like, art is all about perception, like everything else is. You look at some of the greatest artists back in the day, and you just look at their work and you think, like, people not even doing that kind of work anymore. Like you look at some Picasso, you just think, like, what? Like when I first saw that art, man, I didn't even think that was art. I'm just like, what is this? Now, this is like people's definition of art. And that's the thing about art, is forever changing. Like any other art form is always changing. Music isn't the same that it was. Like I was watching a YouTube video the other day. I think it was J. Cole and I forgot what the boy name is, Lil Pump or something like that. And he was just telling him how he was afraid of how music was changing, the direction it was going in. And he had to realize, like, as an artist, like, you can't be afraid of how it's evolving. You can only sit back and watch it evolve. And that's why I started feeling like, I can't look at what other people are doing and worry about what they're doing. Like I ride my own wave. You just gotta be able to create your own wave. And in my mind, mentally, I create my own wave. So that's all that really matters, as long as you feel like you're doing your thing. That's the most important thing. There's always going to be somebody out there who's drawing something different. There's always going to be somebody out there that's doing something different, painting different. Everybody has their own techniques. You just have to start thinking, how will my technique evolve? Look at other people's art styles, and you can take from it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any artist that hasn't taken from another artist. I've taken from plenty of artists, but the thing about taking from other artists is don't do exactly what they're doing. Take what you like from their style and you evolve it, you twist it into your style, make it something different. And that's how you keep evolving. I used to airbrush. From airbrushing, I started learning how to paint cars, doing designs and stuff on cars with the airbrush gun. I was doing shoes, shirts, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I went to school for graphic design and computer animation. And there's many ways that you can use that type of stuff. You just gotta learn how to bend it to not only to your will, but to your creative palette. My daughter, she draws. When I see her drawing, I just think like, dang, So crazy. She does not like me. She doesn't like when I tell her if her stuff isn't good. And I don't try to be a jerk about it. I just do that because sometimes I want her to understand, like, as an artist, you are your biggest critiquer. There's been plenty of pieces that I made I did not like. And the most important thing is just to follow through with finishing it. Maybe at the end of it, you'll think it looks better. That's how it goes sometimes. But the most important thing is never let anybody deter you. And I tell her that as well. Like, even if people don't like your art, don't stop. Because art isn't for other people. The art is for you. The art is to heal you, to help you find yourself. And once you use that as that kind of a tool, then you'll understand more. You'll draw from your heart. More importantly, you'll draw from your spirit. Your soul, it longs to create. No matter what that creation is, like I said before, there's plenty of different forms of art. You'll figure it out. Most important thing is you just don't hinder yourself from any path that can be taken. Regrets are heavy to deal with. So in a way, I have these little flames of inspiration on the side here and here. And then I have the light bulb, which is supposed to be the passion or the idea. And how it's broken, kind of almost like it's dead with its tongue out. And this guy right here, he's supposed to symbolize self-destruction. All these little dudes are actually the same person. It is guy that's crying in the middle. And these are all the different modes or moods that we have inside of us. We have so many emotions and so many different personas living within us. And this is supposed to symbolize the self-destructive one. And we all have a self-destructive mode in our mind that comes from listening to others or thinking you're not good enough. Where does that voice come from? What voice is that? What voice is that inside your head telling you you're not good enough? Is you telling yourself that? Because in the name of creation, we're all good enough. Just to be able to create means you're good enough. And for those who can't create, you're still good enough. You just gotta keep it in your head. You can't let society put the image in your mind that you're not good enough. You'll always be good enough. You just have to be good enough for you and not anybody else. And that's heavy to deal with sometimes. Feeling like you're not good enough. Like as a shorty, I was bullied a lot. And that actually made me feel like I wasn't good enough because I was being bullied. You never know what kids are dealing with. That's why I find it very important that sometimes you can't forget what it's like to be a child. Some people do. And they really have to learn that again, what it's like to be a child. Because in order, when you forget that, how can you relate to your children? How can you relate to any child? I heard people go as far as to say they don't even like kids, and that's so weird to me. Because I'm thinking, like, where did they get this from? Where did they get that idea of not liking children? It came from somewhere. It made me wonder, did somebody not like them as children? Because it's not like children. It's weird to me. I love kids. They cool. They teach you so much. We think that we teach children a lot. We don't even understand the type of stuff the children teach us. We kill their imagination. I think back in time, I watched like my daughter draw when she was little, and like how she would make the grass purple, and I would tell her, like, you know what, the grass is green. Man, it's crazy when you think back on it. Who am I to tell her the grass is purple? I mean, isn't purple. Who am I to tell her the grass is green? What is green? You know, green is just a perception somebody taught me. Like, that's somebody else's ideals. Green can be whatever you want it to be. Like people say, when you're talking and you use a word, somebody's like, oh, that's not a word. What's not a word? Did I use it? Like a word? Because if I did, then it's a word. All words are made up from somebody else. You can't let people tell you things like that without thinking outside the box. This character over here is going to be more of a nervous character, or in shock, or surprised. I like this character when he holding a pencil. The other one was holding like a little ninja dagger or kunai. This guy holding a pencil, showing that he was in the process of creating. Sometimes you be in the process of creating and you see something online and you're just like, what? Which leads into the whole process of feeling like, how can I even compete with that? And it's like, it shouldn't even be in that mode. There is no competition. How can you compete with somebody? Even if they do the same thing you do, there is no competition. Because you and that person are two different people. Whatever you guys or ladies are gonna create is not gonna be the same anyway. So how can you be in a competition? And I look at that still to this day, and I think about that because a lot of times I feel like I'm competing, and I have to slow myself down after a while and be like, man, it's not a competition. It's not a competition. Then I got this stuff up here, like the computer, the cell phone, this heart, this little white tab, which to me represents Instagram. And how sometimes when you put art up, right, you don't always get likes. But that doesn't mean that your work isn't good, but as an artist, sometimes you don't get that recognition that you're looking for, which also goes back to the acceptance. It's like, is it really good? But sometimes people just don't see it. People's news feeds on Instagram is cluttered with so much extra stuff. Sometimes people don't get to see your stuff. which leads back to that's just another way that I was feeling, you know, like dang, people don't like my stuff like that. Like, is it that bad? And it doesn't even have to be bad. It's just that sometimes people just they don't see it. You gotta learn how to tag better. Me, I don't really focus on tagging until I already understand if you don't see my work. I know I have a select crowd that I reach out to, and I don't mind that. But that's how I go. You gotta know your crowd. I try to find my own tribe. But, you know, if you guys wanna like and subscribe, you can. That'd be cool. I do most of my videos live. I don't really take them and edit them or anything like that. I make a lot of mistakes. I don't be sweating it. I find that's better for people that watch and then they understand. Like, I just work when I make a mistake, I work with it and just go with it. Unless it's just that bad of a mistake, I feel like, hey man, I need to go back. I used to do a lot of work in Adobe Illustrator, but I don't really use it as much. I really like the hand-drawn aspect of working now since ever since I got me a Surface Pro a while back, a few years ago. Like the Surface Pro 4 I didn't have it for a few years. I'm trying to get me a Surface Pro 7, get my funds up. Speaking of that, if you guys would like to make some donations to my cause, I actually have a comic book I'm working on, stuff like that. I'm trying to get my own little publishing. I actually have a place where I take donations on Indiegogo. So that's afterrealtruth. Indiegogo. Yeah, I'll put a link to it in the video description if you guys would like to make a donation. 25 cents, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Every penny counts, and it's appreciated. Also, you know, if you guys have anything you want me to talk about, you can leave that in the comments, and I'll do that on the next video. Sometimes I don't touch on everything. I really try to be more of a deep thinker kind of guy. So don't sit here. As I draw, I sit any time of the day, every day. My mind is usually thinking about 1,000 things at once, and I just try to talk to you guys about some of the stuff I feel like bothers me or hinders me in my performance as an artist. And stunts my growth as an artist. Like, social media is heavy, especially when you look for acceptance. And I feel like just in today's time we live in, everybody's looking for acceptance in a way. I feel like I've been dealing with stuff like depression and stuff like that. Like, I know I had some homies who dealt with depression, and And they would take like medicine that was prescribed to them by the doctors. I don't know, man. I never really been down to take medicine like that. I feel like in those times when you're dealing with deep stuff like depression and stuff like that, like the true medicine is gonna be your friends. Your friends are your medicine, and if they aren't, you need not even be around them. This just means they're toxic. Last thing you want your friends being a problem. Your friends should encourage you. I got homies, man. They don't do nothing but encourage me. And if I did have any homies that didn't encourage me and I didn't do the same for them, I usually just stop talking to them. Because what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like ditch all your homies, but y'all supposed to grow together. If you and your friend are not helping each other grow, then what exactly are you guys doing? What's the last thing you want is people around you that's not gonna help feed your mind. I've had friends that I've known since kindergarten, man. I let them go. I keep an eye on them. I watch them still. To this day on Instagram, I follow them. But I don't say much. It's very interesting though. Watching people, watching how they grow, seeing how they evolve. The scary part is most times people don't evolve or grow. And it sucks because evolution is gonna start from evolution can only start from you actually seeing that you actually have a problem. Most people don't grow because they don't think they have a need to grow. They like where they are. And you know, at times to people, it may seem like I'm just comfortable where I am, but I never am. Because I always want to grow more. I always want to learn more. There's always more to learn. Long eyes like that. No, I don't think I do. I'll keep that one. Solid code. One of the big things that I feel most people have to get over and that we don't try to really get over is how we think about ourselves. What do you think about yourself? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? It's important that when you look in the mirror, you tell yourself every day that you're a beautiful person because you are. The fact that we're all different makes us beautiful. You have to tell yourself that, even if you have to like beat in your head, you have to tell yourself that every day. I'm beautiful. And if you feel like you can't, like you can write it on something, you know? Write it on a piece of paper and then like stick it by the mirror or stick it by your bed or stick it wherever you want, wherever you're gonna be around a lot. So let's say if you watch TV all the time, put a bunch of papers around the TV that says positive things about yourself or If you're in the kitchen all the time, hang yourself in the kitchen, it's gonna say positive things about you. So that way you have no choice but to read it, and those words of confirmation, and you see it every day, and you begin to live it. When you see things every day like that, it gets into your subconscious mind. You know, we don't want to ever get to that point where you know, are so into yourself that you think down about others. But it's just important that you understand that you're important. You know, you're important even if other people don't tell you that you are. We forget that sometimes because we look for people to tell us, and people aren't always going to do that. Heck, sometimes they don't even understand how important they are, you know? Like, man, a lot of people who consider themselves bosses at jobs, they treat their employees a certain type of way. You know, it's hard for them to see that they're, you know what I'm saying, they're not just talking to just anybody. You know, the people who work under you, you're supposed to be a leader to them. So, by nature, you're supposed to understand that all these people who work under you are important. But power sometimes does crazy things to people. People think they have power, and that's not even power. That's just a title. You don't have that title when you clock out of any job, or police officer, or judge, or it doesn't matter. When you step off of that clock and you take off that uniform, you're no longer that. You're whoever your name is, whoever you were born to be. And you weren't born to be whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's your passion, you know what I'm saying? You're making the world a better place with that. You know, if you see what you do is just a job, then obviously it's not happy. It's not just making you happy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of people, even when it comes to careers, you know what I'm saying, which is a career is different from a job, but a lot of people, that's not their passion either. It doesn't make them happy. So your job and your career and all that, it doesn't make you who you are. It's what you do when nobody is watching you. That's what makes you who you are. Sometimes we'll put on this little persona and this little act when people are watching us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, me talking to you guys on here, this is who I am. Because this is exactly what I think about every day, all day. These exact type of things that float through my mind. So I'm really giving you all a glimpse into who I am. But a lot of people don't. Nice. Real sweet, son. Now we gotta figure out how we're gonna color this. Let me do something real quick. Right. I think the first thing I'm gonna start coloring is probably the brain inside the light bulb. But I need to make another layer for all this. So alright. So we got, give myself a nice bright pink. What I see a lot of artists doing on here is They'll take whatever color they're using and they'll make an outline. And then they'll select it with the magic wand tool. And then use the paint bucket and drop the paint in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a little definition to the brain, which I'm going to need a little bit. Let me see. That was that paint, so I'm going to take it up. I saw a video of them saying instead of taking it down lower to add, making a darker version of the color, just take it up the color scale to another color altogether. So, oh, it's too bright. Might just take it down a little bit. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Some of these darker regions, I'm gonna go back and make them a little bit darker with a different type of pink, so people can be able to tell the difference. I ain't gonna say indentation in the brains and what's not. Although I really do like this pink, but it's so poppy. I don't know if I have the chat up. Let me check that out. I don't. Let me go ahead and put the chat on up, man. List up. Let's see who tuned in. If anybody tuning in, you know, you can go ahead, say something. I always do that. My apologies. The wrong icon. Let's go ahead now. Do some of this tongue real quick. Yeah, I like that. What color do I want to do the mouth? That made me think about this movie, my cousin. Why he just be dying at that shit? It's Kung Pao in the Fist of Fury. The dude be like, open the mouth. Don't know if you guys ever seen that movie, but it's like a parody on all the Kung Fu movies. He's so funny, man. I could have definitely used the blend tool for this, but I don't know why the blur tool just blends better than me. Maybe I just don't know how to use the blend tool well. But whenever I use the blend tool, it always blends it into the background. That's not wrong. So I used the blur one. It just looks all around better. I try to use very vibrant colors. I usually don't use a lot of vibrant colors. I usually do like gray tone. Trying to step out that air shell, you know? Usually green is way better. Also, another thing I want to start working on is like my textures. I give it a go right now. Can't go a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's nice. Real nice. See, that bird tool just get it right in there. Just goes right in there. I used to be very proficient at Photoshop. I mean, I still am. I just don't use Photoshop as much. This program that I use is similar to Photoshop, though. It's called Clip Studio Paint. You can get it for relatively cheap. It's cheaper than Photoshop. I think that's one of the reasons why I even have started like messing around with it. Cause I'm like, man, this is so much cheaper. But when I was in college, like you know, like they, you know, anything you do, they don't have a name brand version of whatever and whatever you do. Photoshop is really like the Nike of graphic designer tools. But you know what I'm saying? Like you don't. I really don't think you should let price slow you down. That's why I use that cheaper stuff I used to get my homies like to put the program on my computers and stuff like that. And then once Photoshop had stopped working, I was like, man, what I'm gonna do? I can't find a little copy of it or whatnot. And then I had seen some guys on. It was this one dude artist. I can't remember his name on Instagram, but I'll look it up and I'll put it in the link below because he has some pretty cool art too. And he was using Clip Studio because I asked him. I was like, man, what program do you use? Bro, your stuff come out looking so crisp. And he's like, man, I use Clip Studio Paint. I'm like, oh, word? So then I had seen this lady, this young goddess, she's on Instagram as well, and she posts her art on there too. And I'm like, well, what program do you use? And she said the same. So I was like, man, let me check this out. And then I had looked it up and I found out like it was only like $75. So I got the regular one. I don't have the pro. I mean, I could have been got the pro, but it didn't really make me any difference. I think the pro just comes with a little bit extra, but you know, I've always been the type of person who like I get cheap art supplies. To me, the art supplies, the quality of the art supplies don't matter if you understand how to use them. You can get the same results out of some cheap paintbrushes that you could. You know what I'm saying? If you spent $100 on paintbrushes, they might seem like they're better quality, but that's just all in the mind to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just my theory. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else might be like, no, I need this. Me, I'm on like, bro, I only got $5. I'm gonna make that $5 stretch. Even if I gotta go to Walmart and spend that $5 on 20 paintbrushes in the pack, but that's $5. It's just a fun to do. Using all these colors take me back to like my days when I used to do graffiti. It's so cool. It's like I just live life in color. Then I started getting more so into like doing a more simpler style for my program when I first started doing it. That was during the time I had found out about vinyl. Like I had got a vinyl color cutter, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do like this. But it takes so much to do so many colors. It's kind of like, man, you know. So max top is like, well, it's not really max. You just gotta know how to layer your colors when you're using a vinyl cutter. So it can be a little taxing if you don't understand that. Maybe I should start with a yellow base for this guy. Sometimes I'm doing this to take me back to when I was a little kid, coloring books. Like, oh man, stay inside the lines. But even if you go outside the lines, you can just erase it. Now you couldn't do that with a coloring book. When she went outside those lines, it was a done deal. Might make this guy a blue flame. Because I really hate blue flame. Blue fire is so cool. That ain't color. Oh, that flame eyes, man. Take the whole personality. You're gonna do some nice bright colors. Might just stick with the colors of the chakras on this one. Yeah, I like that green. Gotta be a little bit more careful with this. My apologies also if these videos are too long. I like I said, I do them live, so I finish them to a certain degree on here, but I never finish them all the way on here because I feel like the videos are always so long. Man, but time just flies for me, so I don't even think about how long the video is until after I like click off of it. And that's when I start thinking about it, like, man, I wonder if people are gonna sit through this. But my homie, she told me don't even worry about it. The people will watch it regardless. She told me that my voice was soothing, and that was cool. Get a little Bob Rawson going on with the voice energy. Like I said, if there's anything anybody would like to talk about, you can always hit me up in the video comment and tell me what's on your mind. We could talk about it. If at any time you ever catch me live and you have something in your mind and you want to talk, man, let me know. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. You vent. Let me know what the deal is. We all have to be here for each other, help each other heal. I mean, we're all on this cosmic space vessel together, what we like to call Earth. It's good that we feed each other. As far as mentally, I hope that my pictures help you think about other things that maybe you wouldn't have thought about before. I see plenty of people art who do that for me, and I dig it. Let me save this before. I've honestly had a program like just shut down on me before, and I lost all my work. It is burgers, man. It sucks. You know, I probably should do it. Good God, man. I didn't do it the whole thing. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm gonna have to go back. Colors might be a little different, but that's cool. And let's put some pink in there. Alright, let's blur it. We're gonna blur it and then I'll try to blend it together and see what comes out with that. Blend it a little. I'm not blending this color stretch brush density. I'm gonna take that down. That's cool. I need to get a better chair to sit in. Sheesh, my legs. You know, a lot of people think pink is a girl color, and pink actually is not a girl color. Pink is actually a boy color. A lot of things in society have been turned around. That's why I really try to tell people, like, man, really do not ever pay attention to what normal is. Normal changes every few years. Normal can change. You know, let me put it to you like this. Back in the day, legally talk to a girl, it's like 14, man. Crazy, right? People was back in the day, normal was selling your daughter. In the sense that you was giving your daughter away for livestock and stuff like that. That was normal. Let that sink in your mind, and then you really start thinking about what normal is. You shouldn't really let anybody tell you what normal is or that you're weird. Because normal is always changing. For all you know, you could be the next guru and you could tell somebody what normal is. You can determine what normal is. You know what I'm saying? You watch these memes, a lot of this stuff people find so funny, that starts becoming the next state of what normal is. Normality is a very fickle thing. I really try my best not to even deal with normality. I try to be as weird as possible. I don't speak the same. I don't say good morning. I say grand rising or much bliss. Put bliss on you. Bliss is a very high vibrational thing. A lot of the stuff I try to do, especially when it comes to these designs and stuff like that, I really try to make my stuff more high vibrational, make people more aware. Because you're gonna be wearing this stuff, so I want you to be aware of what you're wearing first off. But at the same time, I also want you to be able to give people vibes, good vibes. I don't want you to walk in the room and people see what you got on and they make them feel funny. Although it will, but in a good way. Have you ever felt something so good, seen something so pure, you be like, oh, why does this make me feel like this? This is crazy. I don't understand. I felt like that before. It's hard to accept those type of things, though. It really is very hard to accept certain feelings that you try to fight it. Because sometimes we have feelings and we just try to fight them so hard. You gotta ask yourself why. Does it feel funny? Like I didn't get a lot of growing up. I didn't get a lot of hugs. So when my daughter was born, she always wanted to hug. It just made me feel weird on the inside, tingly and stuff. I'm like, why do I feel like this? It used to be to a point where I'd be like, I don't want to hug, and she'd be so sad. And it's like, why was I fighting that? So then I started to realize the hugs, like, hey, stupid, the hugs aren't for you. They're for her. And by me embracing her and giving her hugs and kisses and all the stuff that she needed, that I felt like I never got as a child, I started to feel like I was getting it. Like, hey, man, you're getting it now. So I fight it. Some things are going to feel foreign. That's growth. Growth feels foreign. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is going to be uncomfortable because you don't know. It's uncharted territory. Of course it's going to be scary, but sometimes we got to do it. You got to if you want to grow. And grow is so scary. I know a girl once, she told me, it was an ex-girlfriend. She's like, I'll never change. I don't have to change. And I'm telling her like, yo, that sounds crazy. If you never change, where will you be? And she's like, I don't feel like I have to ever change. And I just think to myself, like, you feel like this? You feel like you never had to change in life? She was like, no, I've always been who I am. No, you changed in life. There was a point in life where you didn't know how to talk. There was a point in life where you didn't know how to walk. You're always in a continuous state of change where you think it or not. Like, man, the change is so deep that you're not who you were 5 seconds ago. You never are. You're never who you were 5 seconds ago, let alone a second ago. So if you're watching this video, you gotta understand, like, man, you're not who you were before you watch this video. Just listening to me say certain things is gonna trigger certain things in your mind, and that's gonna change who you are in that moment. So you're not who you were 5 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago. Every second you're changing. And it's tough to deal with when you think that you're perfect and you think you don't have to change. And none of us are perfect, and we all should strive to stay changing for the better, of course. For some people, it's hard to hear that, but it shouldn't be, though. It's so inspirational to me because it gives you continuous redemption. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all done things in our life we're not proud of. We've all done things